Welcome to Gentle Restorative. My name is Sandra, and today we're going to start out in supported child's pose. So come on over onto your knees. If you have a bolster or a pillow, let's go ahead and just gently slide that inside of the widened knees, sit back onto the heels, and walk your way peacefully down into Balasana. So you have a lot of options here. If you do not have any props, that's perfectly fine. Just come straight down into child's pose. If your forehead doesn't touch the ground, grab something that you can rest your head on. Remember, in restorative poses, we don't want to leave anybody behind. No muscle should be feeling like it's holding on to keep you in place. Everything in the body, every part of the body should have an equal opportunity to relax and let go. So whatever you need to grab nearby to help you do that would be totally great. We talk about this a lot. If child's pose bothers the knees or the quads because they're too tight, come back up, put a blanket behind the knees, and ease your way back down. If this is really out of the question for you, flip on over onto your back, hug your knees in. You'll be in upside down child's pose. All right, so go ahead and get comfortable. You can set this up any way you want to. Close your eyes. Just take a couple of deep breaths, a couple of loud sighs. And just a fun thought here. If this pose had a message for you right now, this pose had something to teach you, what do you think that is? And for sure, there's no right or wrong answer here. That is a different lesson for each one of us. So I just want you to think about that. And whatever you come up with to answer that question is accurate and fair. So I was kind of thinking as I was just lying there, my neck was not happy being turned facing over the left shoulder. I can feel a tightness back here. So for me, I might interpret that as, well, maybe I'm more used to looking over the right shoulder, which is my masculine side, which is the side that wants to be in control and has this huge list of things to do. So maybe that little tightness back there is saying, need to focus more on the nurturing feminine side. Break it down. It could be literally anything. Maybe it's, can't stand the bolster I bought and I need to buy a new one. There are a lot of sales out there right now. But whatever comes to your mind is probably accurate. That's the message. Even if the message is, I don't like this pose. Okay, so why are you still in it? So we can constantly ask another question as to what pops into the mind so that we can get a conversation going. I want you to go ahead and turn your head to the other side. Even side, right? Balance for each side of the neck. My neck is much happier facing this way. And truly, I realize not everything is a sign, message, or symbol. I get that. My emphasis on it is to encourage you to practice, because then they're easier to see. So frankly, one could say, well, maybe your neck is tight because you slept funny. That could totally be true. Or is that a sign to check out, how old my pillows are? Do I need a new one? So just question everything. That's what this theme is going to be about, questioning everything, so that the meaningful signs and symbols and messages are just so much easier to see and interpret. All right, take a deep breath. Nice loud sigh. And then let's go ahead and plant the hands. As you push the ground away to sit up, I want you to drop the head. So it's the upper body realigning over the hips first. Hands are helping you get there. Let the head be heavy. And then gently bring the head back to center. We're going to inhale the arms all the way up. Bring the palms together and release them home to your heart and prayer pose to set an amazing intention for your practice. Now when you're done, release the hands. I want to kind of get you off your knees here. So let's go ahead and continue to face the bolster in whatever setup you have. But let's get seated on the sit bones and then just kind of open the legs out wide. All right, so my legs are in a V. If you have that bolster in front of you, fabulous. And if you have a block, go ahead and prop that bolster up. And then sit up nice and tall. And then let's just come forward into a supported fold. So as always, this should be what you need it to be. You could flip the bolster around and hang out right here. You don't have to worry about the back staying straight. You get to slouch if you want to. Find that place where you're smiling, you're happy, and this is just a fabulous place to be. So while you're there, what I wanted to talk about is a Sanskrit word. It's upaguru. So we've heard the word guru a lot. We talk about it a lot, right? A guru is a teacher, but it means literally going from darkness into light. So it's somebody who takes you, you could say, from lack of knowledge to knowledge. You could say from ignorance to knowledge if you want to. You could say it's somebody who, guides you on your path, showing you the way, right? Upaguru, U-P-A-G-U-R-U. Upa means near. So an upaguru is the teacher that is right next to you. You could also say it is the teacher within you. But anything that's next to you, anybody who crosses your path, so to speak, right? We have a lot of those people. Think of somebody who has maybe recently crossed your path or come into your world. Why? Have you figured it out yet? And, generally when the lesson is gone, that person just meanders off and vanishes, right? Some people stick around a whole lot longer. Maybe we haven't grasped the lesson. They have more to teach us. Maybe we got the first lesson, but there's more to come. So the people around us are teachers. They differ in a guru because you could say that a guru is very maybe enlightened, if you will, if you want to go there. I don't know that they all are, but an upaguru, look at it this way. An upaguru opens the door for you. Just simply opens the door to new thoughts, new ideas, new conversation. When I hold a Death Cafe meeting, I believe that I'm literally just opening the door for whoever wants to enter to have a conversation about death. I can't pull them in. They're not going to enter if they don't want to or they're not willing. And so you are looking for these doors, right, that are opening all around you. So how is child's pose an upaguru? That's why I asked you what you were getting from it. Child's pose, like any other yoga pose, is opening a door. Do you want to go through? Are you receptive to going through? Is it not the right day to go through? It's a fun word, upaguru. I like it. We're going to talk more about what's around you and what lessons we can glean from that. But I want you to take a deep breath. Let it go. And go ahead and make your way back up. I think we're still going to keep the props as is. I'm shifting a little bit to stay centered on my mat here. I want you to go ahead and scooch really close to that bolster or blanket or whatever you're using, and let's go ahead and send the legs on up. Now, a couple things here. Whoops. You could use your strap if you want to kind of bind your legs in place. You could wrap the strap underneath the bolster. If you don't have any props to put your legs up on, they could go up on a chair, right? Or I like to cross one ankle over the other because then I know my legs aren't going anywhere. They're kind of stuck. So go ahead and scooch back first, get super comfortable. And then close your eyes. So this is an inversion, right? Or kind of upside down. Make sure this is okay for you. If at any point you need to change the pose, you absolutely should do that. And then we can pause to think here about if this pose were our present upaguru, which it really is, what can you learn from it? So, if your mind kind of went blank there and you couldn't think of anything, let me give you just a plethora of thoughts that jumped into my head on that question, and you see if any of them relate to you. At first, I was thinking, how often do we set time aside to truly just kick our legs up? Maybe we sit down, we plop down in a chair, but do we take time to really find that restorative pose and just be there? And then I thought about my breath, how this pose was affording me the opportunity to really focus and feel my breath, which then took me to feeling how my back muscles were letting go and relaxing against the earth, which then took my mind to, do I feel grounded? Am I rooted? How is my root chakra? So you can take it in any direction you want to. And I'm hoping you came up with something else, something completely different. That just relates to you. So an upaguru does not have to be a person. I'm kind of getting a sense of that because I keep questioning you about poses, right? An upaguru can be an object. It could be a cat at the door wanting to come in. It's anything nearby. And again, I'm not insinuating that every little thing around you in your space has a message, right? If I look around, well, I'm looking at the ceiling right now, but there's a fan up there and I can see the Om tapestry, with the lotus and the mandala. I can see a statue of Nataraja. I know Ganesh is down there by my feet. And so I could break these things down individually. I know they individually have meaning. What does the fan mean, right? If I want to focus just on the fan, well, I could say it's not on right now, so there's a stillness in the room I might want to focus on. Or is the fan a reminder to stay calm and cool when my temper might feel like flaring up? It's possibly a reminder that I could turn it on and add light to my path if I so choose, if I so think about it, if I remember it's there. So this is kind of why I'm going to have you break things down. We're going to look at goofy things around us and just try to glean what it could possibly mean. So it's so much easier when something bigger comes along. All right, if you have your ankles crossed, will you switch so the other leg's on top for a moment? Take your focus to your breath. And with the hands on the abdomen, let's deepen the breath so we can really feel it. And then a really strong inhale and a cleansing exhale. So go ahead and set your feet back down on the earth, knees are bent. And then draw the knees into the heart. And maybe this is where you started out, in upside down child's pose. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll to whichever side is easier and has more room available to you. Stay in fetal position for a moment. And then let's gently push our way back up. We're going to need to move those props out of the way for a moment. And then just take a seated pose, any pose you want. I want you to keep your eyes open. Don't look at me. I want you to look around your space. I want you to name 5 items you see in your head. Got it? Okay. Pick one of those things. And now close your eyes. If you had to dissect that object to come up with some type of meaning or question it could be asking you, what would you come up with? You've got this. We've been doing this for a long time. You've got this. Think about the object's purpose. Think about what it is made from. How does it relate to a chakra? What is it trying to tell you? Ooh, think about its color too and how that relates to a chakra. And imagining that this one object you're thinking of is your upaguru, which it kind of is, really. What's the message for you? What is it going to teach you right now? So, of course, if you are struggling with this, you can totally email me. Tell me what your object is and I'll help you out. There's no right or wrong answer to whatever popped into your mind. We'll come back to the other 4 objects. Stay with the one that you primarily decided to focus on. And then let's come on over into table. Right, so one of the objects I focused on, which thank goodness you can't see, is this huge garbage bag off to the side. You know, my office is a mess. The garbage bag reminds me to declutter, to create space. And you don't have to take that literally. It could be decluttering internally, emotionally, right? Create space within, find balance. Let's find cat-cow here, speaking of balance. One more. Come back to a neutral spine. Let's find downward facing dog right here. Take it slowly, walk it out as you're heading there. And then settle in without the movement, right? A nice still downward facing dog. This is such a great balancing pose because it's, excuse me, it stretches out the legs, it's stretching out the spine, it's stretching out the arms, the shoulders. So it's all encompassing. Which part of your body is feeling this the most? Let that guide you as to how this pose has something to teach you right now. Good job. Okay, let's lift the heels, slowly come forward into plank. We're going to modify, so step the knees down, untuck the toes, straighten out the spine, lift the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Let's keep it low. Good job. Okay, I'm going to take the right forearm and bring it across the mat in front of me. Left hand's free to reach back and grab the left foot and draw it in. So noticing everything, right? If your back doesn't like this, come down lower. If you can't catch your foot, reach in its direction, right? Or use your strap. If you are perched up on that forearm, how tight or happy is the left quad, right? Everything. So again, I'm noticing as I face you in this direction, my neck is still a little not happy. And then I'm thinking back to how I had to stop for a moment and clear my throat. And one of the objects I focused on was a microphone. These are all throat chakra related. So that's how I want you to start piecing things together. Go ahead, release that leg. Switch it to the other side. And then let go of that leg. Come back to center. I want you to bring your heart back down onto the earth. Bend both knees, right? And we're going to have options here because I don't want you to put your back in a position it shouldn't be in or doesn't want to be in. So let's just call this option A right here. In fact, you could even grab your block and rest your forehead if your neck's getting tired. Otherwise, option B is going to be to reach the arms back alongside of us, palms down. Again, you can still keep the head lifted if you want to. You could bring the chin down, the forehead down, or rest your head on something. Option C, let's see if we can reach back and grab both feet. Yeah, we're not going to lift up into bow. We're just going to stay right here. Keep it nice and low, very mellow, compassionate. Deep inhale. Exhale, let go if you did grab your feet, and just let everything come on down to the earth. Close your eyes. What are you feeling? All right, bring the hands back in, palms down underneath the shoulders so you can push your way back up into table. Find cat-cow again for a moment. And then I'm going to stretch my left leg out behind me. I'm going to tuck the toes. I'm going to take my right leg and just scooch it a little bit more to center so I have solid support. My right hand is also going to move closer to center so that I can just fall on the inner edge of that back foot. Now pause here. Take the right foot, I think which foot that was. I'm going to pivot on the right knee and send that foot a little farther out behind me so I have more support. So this is all about being supported as we start to get the left hand away from the ground. Let's bring it to rest on top of that left hip. Are the shoulders and hips in the same plane? In other words, if I were able to move back to the wall, I'd have to shift this bottom leg, right, to get it out of my way. Would my hips and my shoulders be touching the wall? Or are the hips pushing back while the shoulders are dropping forward? So I want you to get into the same plane. Okay, this is option A. Option B, can we lift that left leg parallel to the earth? Are you still breathing? Good job. So I'm going to slowly lower that leg down. I'm just barely going to touch the ground and then take it right back up. Exhale it down. Take it right back up. 3 more. Last one. Unless you whipped through them already, let that foot come to the earth. Stretch the arm way overhead. Lengthen out the side ribs. Smile. And slowly tip back over into table. We're going to take this to child's pose, but keep the knees together. And as you reach the arms forward, that was a lot of balancing on the right wrist. As you reach the arms forward, the left hand is going to grab onto the right wrist and just kind of work it out a little bit. While you're here, think of one of those other objects that you had identified. So you've got 4 to choose from. Pick one. See it in your mind's eye. Break it down like we did with the first one. And then go ahead and come on back up into table. You stay facing the way you are. I need to turn around. Send that right leg out behind you. And then remember, we kind of took the other leg and shifted it over center as well as the same hand. Come onto the inner edge of that back foot and just slowly open this up. Right hand on the right hip. Perfect. Okay. And also, sorry, forgot to mention, you can take that left foot and bring it behind you for more support if that makes you happy. Okay, find your balance. We're going to lift that right leg parallel to the ground. Hold it here. Breathe. And slowly lower that leg down to touch the earth. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Inhale up. 3 more. Follow your breath. Don't rush it. If your wrist doesn't like this, come to knuckles. And when you finish that last one, top arms reaching overhead, lengthen this out. Slowly come back towards table. We're going to keep the legs together, finding child's pose again. This time the right hand is going to grab onto the left wrist and give it a little massage. When you're ready, go ahead and walk your hands back in. Grab your 2 blocks or anything that's about the same height. Those are going out in front of you, shoulder distance apart. And if you want your blanket, which might come in handy for your forehead, you can kind of toss it way out in front. So we're coming down onto our stomachs. You want the shoulders right up on top of those blocks. And slide my blanket in from my head. Arms are going to reach straight back alongside you. And then I'm just going to soften. I'm going to let go of my weight. I don't need to hold myself here. This should feel pretty darn good. It feels like the blocks are helping draw the shoulders back more naturally. And just close your eyes right there. So I hope you're having an easy or fun time coming up with tangents about these objects and what they might have to say. So I mentioned there's a microphone off in front of me. I just brought it out yesterday because I was thinking about recording audio, maybe putting that on YouTube or somewhere else. But there's a couple things about that stand out to me. And the reason I'm telling you what I'm seeing is so you can start to see how you can break apart your signs, right? So the microphone is large and it's heavy and it's made of metal. And that makes me think root chakra, like really heavy grounded foundation. But it's all about the throat chakra. The throat chakra has to do with communication. So am I saying what I want to? Am I not? Am I holding things back? Am I not hearing people telling me something? Am I just letting it go in one ear out the other? So let's go back to this example of a cat meowing at the door to come in. Choosing not to let the cat in and the cat's meowing, right? Are we hearing what the cat is telling us and then not reacting? Are we just tuning the cat out and not even hearing it? That's possible too, right? We get so used to certain sounds and then all of a sudden we just don't pay attention. What is the cat trying to tell you? I know it wants in. Go beyond that. Go beyond that. Do you want the cat next to you? Do you not want the cat next to you? So start thinking about, well, does that mean I need some alone time? Does that mean I need some nurturing time? Or, do I want to be close to someone or something? Do I want to feel that soft fur under my hands? And will that be relaxing and meditative? Or am I not allowing myself the time to go there because I just have this big to-do list? So have fun. Like literally let your thoughts go in a million places and just see what sticks and what resonates with you. I hope you like this pose. I think this is a really good one. So we'll stay for a few more moments. And while you are there, I want you to think of a third object out of the 5 that you had identified. And with that object in mind, I want you to take a deep breath in. Let it go. And we're slowly going to lift the head up. You need to bend the arms, get the hands back underneath you. Lift into a small cobra and then lift the hips up so we can come back to being seated on the mat. Perfect. All right, open the legs up nice and wide. Wiggle in front of the sit bones. Perfect. If you have a block and you want to use it, you could put it inside of that right shin or to the outside, whatever makes you happy. If you don't have a block, right hand on the right leg. Inhale that left arm up, nice side bend to the right. So the third object that I had seen, actually it's just right here. It's a black address book. So what this makes me think of is black is one of the colors of the root chakra. And in correlating that with addresses, the people around you are foundational to who you are, to your experiences. It makes me think of communication in the throat chakra again because I'm kind of bad at keeping up with people. I think social media makes that a little bit easier. I remember the days of writing letters and having pen pals. So for me, I would want to explore again this idea of root chakra. Who's in my space? Who have I allowed in? Who should stay? Who needs to be gently pushed away? And then I would tie that back in with the throat chakra again. So hang out right here in your side bend. Close your eyes. And I want you to break down your third object. Color, texture, use, chakras, anything else, anything. Keep thinking. We're going to slowly come back up. We're just going to switch sides. So if you were using your block, go ahead and move it to the other side. Inhale that right arm up. Exhale, side bend. Now, keep thinking. When you're ready, come on back up. Left hand forward, right hand behind. Sit up tall, gentle twist to the right. While you're twisting and turning in all directions, if you forgot what your other items were, peruse the room. Try to see what it was that you first caught your attention as you switch sides with that twist. And then coming back to center, drawing the legs into cobbler. Determining how comfortable cobbler is for you, what message it might have. So if you need to put props under the knees, go ahead. That's a message most likely from your hips. Close your eyes, sit up tall, and picture the fourth object. Stay right there. I'm going to grab my fourth object because I don't really know how to describe it if you're not familiar. So I was looking at, it's kind of like a chime called koshi. Each sound will relate to the chakras, but if you'll notice, this is all about sound, which again is all about the throat chakra. So I've got some issues I need to work out there. Apparently, break yours down again. So I would also take into consideration that this is made out of wood, which is very earthy, right? So that's root chakra again. So for me, I'm going to make this connection of what is going on with my sense of security, my foundation, and my throat chakra. Am I not saying certain things? Is that throwing off my sense of security? I've got to work that out for myself, but I have all these clues, right? I picked these objects out randomly, but you see how they work together. Okay. Sorry, we were in cobbler. What I want you to do is I want you to take your thumbs to the inside of the sole and just see if you can peel the feet open just a little bit more. Nice. And then let it go. Okay. You stay there. I'm going to turn. Go ahead and bring the knees on up to center here. Take your hands behind you for support. And I'm just going to Keep that right leg bent, but draw the knee in. And then let's straighten this leg out. I'm going to leave it up to you if you're straightening down low, if you're straightening up a little bit higher, whatever makes you happy. If the leg doesn't want to straighten, don't force it. Breathe. And then set that leg back down. Let's pull the left knee in. Same thing, just find a place where that leg is happy, and we're just going to hold it there for a second or a few seconds. Okay, set that foot back down. I want you to get your support off of your hands so you can sit up tall. Take that left knee, let it fall open, and draw that foot in towards the right hip. We're going to grab onto the bottom of the left foot or use your strap, which is always happy to help you out, right? All right, sit up nice and tall. Now stretch that leg out. Close your eyes. Deepen the breath. Good job. Slowly set that leg back down. Move the strap and then straighten out that right leg. I have my right thigh sitting on top of my left foot and my ankle. I'm going to sit up tall here and then walk my way into a fold. And then close your eyes. I want to share this quote with you. Elizabeth Goodman wrote, "Sometimes we meet a stranger just for a moment, but the stranger in that moment exhibits with such grace that the stranger is one of our teachers for life. It is by being open and spacious that we get the opportunity to recognize those who have just one perfect teaching for us. When we're closed off, we can miss both the teachers and the teachings." And so, while you might think this is really just goofy and a waste of your time to have you pick out objects and then try to decipher another meaning to them, it's just to get you to open up, to figure out tangents and where they can take you and what's connected. Yeah? Okay, go ahead, come up out of this fold. We're going to switch the legs. So right foot's coming back by my left hip. I'm going to grab the bottom of that left foot or use my strap. Lengthen the spine. When you're ready, tip back and send that leg somewhere. Close your eyes here. So bring that fifth and last object to mind. Start taking it apart and deciphering it. And then go ahead and slowly bring that leg back down. We're going to stretch it out, resting on top of that right foot. When you're ready, hinge forward into a fold. Excuse me, see, it's the throat chakra thing. Make your way back up, grab your blanket. And then just a really soft roll of that. I want to put that under my knees. We're going to flex the feet, sit up nice and tall. Inhale the arms up, Paschimottanasana, forward fold right here. So I can't prove this to you. I honestly randomly picked out 5 things around my space just as you did. In fact, I hadn't even pre-planned asking you to pick out objects in your space. That just came to me. I'm telling you that because the 5th object that I had zeroed in on still correlates with everything else. And that's what I really want you to look at and tap into with the objects you picked, right? Go ahead and make your way back up. The other object I was looking at was this folder. It's teal, blue, color of the throat chakra. I just created it yesterday. It's about helping somebody talk their way through the death process that they would like to have. So it's all about communication again. And so I've linked in people. I've linked in, remember the garbage bag, clearing out space so we can have these conversations, clearing out old beliefs, maybe myths, incorrect information. I want you to sit down for a moment when we get into our pose and see how your 5 objects tie in. Are they the same color? Do they come from the same element? Do they have a similar purpose? Okay, that's what I want you to start threading together. All right, so we still have that blanket underneath our knees, and then I want you just to gently lay back. You could grab a block if you want, if you feel like you want to perch your head up for a moment on something. And then what I'm actually going to do is just widen out my knees a little bit so they're bent, letting the hips open a little, the weight of the legs fall open. Perfect. Hands resting on the abdomen once again. Now just settle in and connect those 5 things together. Again, if you are struggling, please just shoot me an email. I promise I'll be totally approachable and non-judgmental. Whatever your objects are, it's all good. Now remember, the Sanskrit word upa means near. So teacher nearest to me. The closest teacher you have is yourself, your inner self, right? Only you truly get how those objects relate, what message they might have for you today. Listening to that inner guru is sometimes challenging. It takes practice to focus on our intuition and really tap into it and be willing to listen to it. Yeah, but I just love this idea, this definition that upaguru means someone or something opening a door. So I want you to consider that each of those 5 objects, even if you couldn't connect them, which is totally fine, each one of those has now just opened 5 doors to you that you didn't even know were closed. Do any of them intrigue you? Do you want to walk through any of those doors? Do you want to explore that a little bit more? All right. Go ahead and move whatever you have underneath your head. I want to hug that right knee in. And then if you still kind of have that left leg going wide, will you straighten it out so the knee's aiming up towards the ceiling? Take the right hand, rest it underneath the head like a pillow, and then help that right knee come across into your supine twist. Of course, you are going to turn into that left leg, so now it's no longer facing up, but I wanted you to start there. And you could turn the head to look over the right shoulder if it's comfortable. Take a nice strong inhale. As you exhale, bring everything back to center, hugging that right knee in. And then gently release that leg. Go ahead and pull that left one in. So left hand is behind the head, right hand is helping that left knee come across into a twist. And then you can turn your head to look over that left shoulder. What is this pose the doorway to? What is going on in the body? What are you feeling? What are you sensing? What are you thinking? Deep inhale. Exhale, gently roll back. We'll still be hugging that left knee in. And then let it go. Stretch that leg out. Close your eyes here for a moment. Slow, deep breath in. Hold it. Big exhale. This time, deep inhale. Hold it. You decide when you want to exhale. And then it is time for you to set up your props the way you want them so that you're comfortable in Shavasana. Shavasana is a great upaguru, especially for the people who struggle to keep their eyes closed and be still and find silence in the mind. So get comfortable. Close your eyes. Take one more deep breath in. Loud exhale. And allow Shavasana to guide you through a doorway and see what happens next. And just keeping your eyes closed for a moment. An upaguru is anything or anyone around you that can be a teacher to you if you are open to receiving the lesson. I was thinking how I was watching the hummingbird feeder yesterday, and I didn't see anything, and I finally gave up and came upstairs, and then that's when a family member texted me, hey, there's a hummingbird at the feeder. Is that a lesson in patience, or is that a lesson in missed opportunities? I was on the hammock and my dog came and tried to knock me over, and so the hammock was rocking. And I was thinking about how that's a symbol of staying peaceful through turbulent times. Look at everything. It's fascinating, and hopefully it gives you a good working tool as to what you can focus on. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it go. I'm sure you can hear the dogs. Coincidentally, the barking, throat chakra. Go ahead and bring some movement back into the hands and the feet. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll to a side in a fetal position. And then gently push your way back up. Strong breath in through the nose. Super loud exhale. Take a moment to open the arms and pull them back wide. Kind of a gesture of sending the heart forward and reminding us to be open to receiving all of these teachings. Inhale the arms up, bring the palms together, and exhale the hands back home to your heart in prayer pose. The light in me bows to the light in you. And when I'm in that place in me and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.